छाया आसमान देखो झूमता गगन है छाया आसमान देखो झूमता गगन ज़मीन आसमान कुछ छू गया झूमता गगन आसमान मेरे झूम ले जहां ये कैसा नशा प्यार का समान रही समा झूमे आसमान होश तो खोले प्यार तू ले ले संग मेरे झूम जा कैसा नशा होश है कहाँ होश तो खोले प्यार तू ले ले संग मेरे झूम जा
Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week Tonight for tonight, April 5th, 2020. Come to you live here from Edmonton, Alberta, in the Minhas self-isolation bunker. How are you all doing tonight? That's right, we are still all alone here in the bunker, but I'm not quite alone because I'm here with you, and I will be here with you every single Sunday night to give you the news you need to know. Look back at the week that was in common and look forward to the week that will be. Wait, what's that?
Wait, what's different?
That's a great question, Mr. Minhas. This is correct. This is a completely brand new studio here in the Minhas bunker, which is definitely not just my basement. It is definitely a professional studio. And in this studio, as you see, we have a globe that actually spins. We have a plant that is definitely a real plant and not a fake plant from IKEA. We have books on either side that I read. And right above me, we have an unbelievable shrine to the great Kawhi Leonard, who provided us with a championship last year. And considering the way things are going, potentially back-to-back champions, the Toronto Raptors, because who knows if we'll have basketball ever again. But I digress. That's not why we're here today. We're here today for another episode of This Week Tonight to give you the news you need to know about what's happening in your classes. However, this week is going to be a little bit different because it's not just going to be about the classes that we have. We're going to have a couple of extra special guests for you this week, giving you some of their expertise as we move forward. But before we get started into anything, we should always start with how we always start. And by always, I mean for the first time ever, because this is the first time we're doing this. And that is with the Minhas Top 10.
What's that?
It's another great question, Minhas. The Minhas Top 10 happens to be a situation where I myself will provide you with the top 10 about any type of topic that I decide or that my wonderful viewers decide to send to me. Let's get started with our first top 10 of the season. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you have been waiting for, and that is the very first top 10 of this week tonight, sent in by a fan, actually. So hi, Miss Wald. Thank you very much for your fan suggestion. Open to fan suggestions each and every week for a top 10. The very first top 10 of this episode happens to be one that is near and dear to my heart, and that is the 10 greatest episodes of The Office rank. Let's start with episode number 10, and that is the finale. How can you leave off the finale? A wonderful end to a wonderful show. Episode number 9, another kind of end in terms of when we think about episodes, and that would be Goodbye, Michael. Of course, being Michael Scott's last episode on the show, a goodbye to one of the greatest television characters of all time. Episode 8 on our list is Diversity Day. Now, Diversity Day is an incredibly weird episode, and it's one that is kind of uncomfortable to watch nowadays, but it is filled with some of the funny, subtle jokes in the history of the show, and it's from the first season, which is a bit of a weird season when you compare it to the rest of the seasons for the show, but still a really great episode. Episode number 7 on the list, The Injury. I don't have a lot to say about this other than Michael steps on a George Foreman grill and burns his foot. That's fantastic. Episode number 6, Casino Night. The very first time that Jim and Pam actually admit their feelings for each other. and they kiss. Not the first time they kiss. First time they kiss is a little later on in this top 10 list. Spoiler alert. But it's the first time that they kind of admit their love for each other. Pretty wild times. Number 5 on the list is The Convict. You got Prison Mike.
I'm Prison Mike.
Rag. He says that there's Dementors flying everywhere. Perfection. Episode number 4 on the list, Basketball. One of the greatest and also one of the worst exhibitions of basketball in the history of television. Episode number 3 on this list, Fun Run. Fun Run is a great episode. They are raising awareness for a disease that already has a vaccine. That's how you know it's a good episode. Episode number 2 on the list, this is where it's going to get contentious with some of the fans of the show, I know that much. But the second greatest episode of The Office is The Dundies. The Dundies is a phenomenal episode, and in any other show, an episode like that would be number 1. It is, of course, the episode where Pam says that she feels God in this Chili's tonight, and then she passes out, which is a phenomenal episode. But number 1, the absolute greatest episode of The Office all time, I'm telling you this right now, you don't have to listen to anybody else because this is the truth, and that is Dinner Party. Dinner Party is by far the greatest episode of The Office of all time. No episode even comes close to Dinner Party. Premise of that show, Michael tricking multiple members of his job to come to his house for a dinner party that goes horribly, horribly wrong, with quite possibly the funniest small joke in the history of television, and that being Michael having a 10-inch plasma screen TV and showing the rest of his coworkers at his dinner party that if you wanted to, you can make room for multiple people in that living room by pushing the TV into the wall. And he pushes it in half an inch and just stares at the TV. One of the greatest subtle jokes in the history of television. So again, that is your top 10 list, the top 10 greatest episodes of The Office of all time. That is the definitive list, because you heard it here on This Week Tonight, and I'm the definitive arbiter of that news, so you're welcome. Now, we're going to move on to our top story of the week, and that is the week that was and the week that will be in comm. Now, looking at the week that was in comm, and again, it's going to be a little different for the block 1s and 4s in comparison to the block 0s. For the first couple of weeks, as we get ourselves aligned doing some of the similar assignments. For those block 1s and 0s, at this point, you should have already watched my video lesson on the decision-making process and tried to complete the 7-step decision-making process assignment. All of my block 1s, reminder, your assignment is due Monday at 9 a.m. All my block 4s, your assignment due Thursday at 9 a.m. Then looking at the block 0s, you had a bit of a different assignment, the body image and self-esteem assignment. That was given to you just this Friday, so you have up until Friday at 9 a.m. to complete that assignment as well. On those days, Monday, Thursday, and Friday, you can expect to see your second assignment as well as we look forward into what that assignment is going to be. However, before we do that, we have a special guest appearance from a good friend of mine. Now, I'm going to throw to a pre-recorded video from that friend where she is going to talk to you about something. I don't know what that something is because I'm recording this before she sends me that video. So we're all going to see that video together. Take it away, Miss Wald.
Oh, hey there, Voyagers. Senior Leadership Correspondent Wald here, wanting to give you some updates in leadership world. So if you have tuned in to our SU Instagram page at all, you will see that all your teachers are big weirdos. And we've got some more weird on the way. So this week's theme is going to be showcasing your creative selves. So if you have any creative pursuits that you want us to see and share with our lovely Lazert family, we're going to be showcasing some of the things that we like to think we can do as teachers that are creative. For Senior Correspondent Wald, you will see some very inspiring pieces of creative genius. And I'm sure you might see something mediocre from newscaster Minhas as well. Back to you, Minhas.
Oh, what a video and what a person. Thank you again to our senior leadership correspondent, Miss Wald, for providing us with her insight into the world of leadership. Now, as we move on to our final focus segment of this week tonight for April 5th, and that is a look ahead to the week that will be for COM. The first thing that all of you need to know on your corresponding days, Monday, Thursday, Friday, is all of you will be asked a question. That question is going to be related to looking ahead to a potential road trip when we're all eventually allowed to leave our homes and I can finally leave the Minhas isolation bunker. And you'll actually be going in and answering a question on Google Classroom related to a potential road trip that you might take in the future. So all three of the classes will be answering that question. Again, you'll get more detail on the days in which that the assignment is posted. Then all three of those classes, you'll get a bit of a different little assignment there. Block 1's and Block 4's, your assignment is going to be looking at the influences of social media. So that's going to be the assignment that you're going to be looking at. I'm sure a lot of us right now, myself included, is kind of relying on social media quite a bit because there's not a lot going on right now. I know I'm on TikTok quite often doing that with that dance with the and I don't really know. I'm learning TikToks though, and they're going to be great. But the Block 1's and the Block 4's, you're going to be doing a assignment associated with the influence of social media on your day-to-day lives, looking at some of the different social media platforms that you use and how they might affect the way you think about the world. So that'll be your assignment that you'll be working on. You'll have a week to complete that assignment. Block 0's, you'll be working on an assignment called Personal Code of Ethics. That assignment is related to the things that you believe in, things that you value, things that are important to you. And again, you'll have a week from the day that it is posted to complete that assignment. So that is our look ahead into the next week of COM. Again, if you have any questions about any of those assignments, I'm available from 9 to 3:30 Monday to Friday to answer any of your questions. So please feel free to send me an email. I have no problem answering any of your questions associated with any of those assignments. Or if you just want to chat, or again, if you want to go back to my top 10 and tell me how great my top 10 was, that would be awesome as well. Now, that was our last segment for this week tonight, April 5th, 2020. Well, that's all the time we have for today on This Week Tonight for April 5th, 2020. Again, come to you live here from the Minhas bunker. Again, if you have any questions for me throughout the week, please feel free to get in contact with me through email. I'm available to answer your questions Monday to Friday from 9 to 3:30 p.m. Thank you again for taking the time to watch episode number 2 of This Week Tonight. Take care of yourselves out there. Wash your hands, and as always, make good life choices. Good night.